What's going on, guys? It's Eric Smith here from nichescraper.com, and I've gotten a lot of questions recently about people asking me what my Facebook ad campaign structure is like and how I actually target people for my Shopify store. So I just want to make a quick video and show you my simple strategy for Facebook ads. So what I do is something called dual campaign ad strategy, and it's pretty simple, but it's extremely effective. So it involves using two campaigns, a conversion campaign and an engagement campaign. So the conversion campaign is the meat of it all. It actually generates the sales. And the engagement campaign kind of works off that, and it provides the social proof for the conversion campaign. So while this one is running here and getting all the sales, this one is building up likes on the ad, the shares, the comments. And this allows people to actually trust your ad because it's really hard to target people on Facebook if they don't trust you because they've never heard your brand before. So this is extremely important. So let's just jump right into it. I'll explain some of this other stuff later. But so when I'm picking a product, I'll go to nichescraper.com, and I'll go to handpick products, and these are just products I've tried myself that I think are doing really well. So let's try to sell this giant inflatable unicorn pool float. So if you're a member, you get to see all this data, like the profit margin, example Facebook ads, interests, audience size, reviews, stuff like that. This is a paid tool, so it may not be for everybody, but for me, it's extremely helpful because you literally don't have to think about what products to pick. So let's go ahead and try to sell this one here. So right click, save the image, and this is going to be our ad image. If I were you, I would recommend actually going through and making this look nicer. Maybe add like your logo up here, a 50% off banner or something like that. But just for the video, for time's sake, I'm just going to use this image as the ad image. All right, so we saved that. Let's go ahead and go to our ads manager, and so you'll see something like this. If you've never used Facebook ads before, you can create campaigns, and inside campaigns you have ad sets, which are basically you tell the campaign what to target, the audience, your budget, and then your ads is the actual media, so it's like the photo or the video of your ad, and campaigns is the actual, like, the I guess the optimization you want. So you can choose conversions, or you can choose engagement, or you can choose traffic, things like that. I definitely recommend, if you've never made Facebook ads before, to go through and read Facebook's blueprint for creating Facebook ads. It's extremely helpful. I'm not going to go into all that right now, but I want to show you what I do. So click create, and in here you're going to choose your objective. So we're going to make this first campaign here, the conversion campaign. So click conversions, and then down here we can just call it whatever we want. So pool float conversions. You can ignore some of this stuff. Click continue. And now you're going to create your ad set. So we're going to select our conversion event. And for this one, I recommend starting off with add to cart. Some people recommend doing purchase conversions. And even though it makes sense, you want to optimize for people to purchase on your page. When you're first starting out, it can be difficult to get a lot of those conversions. And Facebook usually needs like 15 or so in the past week for them to actually optimize on that. So if you're not getting 15 purchases, then there's really no point to add that as a conversion for it to optimize. Add to carts are a lot easier to do because it's one step up in the flow. So it's a lot easier to get 15 add to carts than 15 purchases. So start with this. It'll optimize it better. And then once it's successful, then you can switch to purchases. And this is not like a hard and fast rule. You can start with purchases, and that's fine. You can even do view content. I just personally like doing add to cart. So you can name your ad set whatever you want. As I'm not going to actually run this ad set, I'm just going to leave it default. Scroll down here to create your audience. So we're going to want to choose people in the United States. Our age range, if we look here, 18 to 65, so we'll leave that default. Female, right here, so we'll choose women. And then we're going to choose our targeting. So we want to target people who are interested in vacation. So type that in here. and I'll give you some suggestions. So this one here has a size of 8 million. Select that. So we're going to target people who are interested in vacation and also are interested in family vacations. So type that in here. Now what that's going to do, this is called flex targeting, where you have this and thing going on here. Because if you just simply type family vacations up here, it's going to be people who like vacation or like family vacation. When you have people who like vacation and family vacations, it's a lot more targeted, and you really get to narrow down on your audience there. So go ahead and do that, and we'll add the last one here, swimming pool. All right, so that's a pretty good audience right here. Uncheck this box. That'll just have Facebook, or if it's selected, Facebook will add additional interest that they think might convert well. In my experience, it doesn't really work too well, so I usually leave it unchecked. So then it'll show you your potential reach, which is 420,000. And it'll estimate 6 to 26 conversions a day, which is not accurate at all. Usually, that number actually works for me. So scroll down, edit placements. So this is the section that lets you choose where your ad's going to appear, whether it's going to be on Instagram, in your audience network, or Messenger. For this, I usually focus on one placement at a time. Instagram is great, but I usually make separate ads for Instagram and separate ads for Facebook. So we'll just leave Facebook checked for this. And then for conversions, I like to have only when connected to Wi-Fi, because people usually make those big purchase decisions when they're at home on Wi-Fi, rather than when they're on a bus or like walking down the street on their phone and they don't have Wi-Fi. They're probably not going to sit there and make a purchase, put in their credit card information, things like that. So make sure that's checked. All right, so for the conversion campaign, we're going to run it at $5 a day for 3 days. So change this to 5. And we'll just manually check after 3 days. So everything's good there. Continue. Okay, select your Facebook page. This Vintage Harbor page is just an old one of mine that doesn't actually have a store attached to it anymore. Yeah, so select your Facebook page, single image in this case, upload image. So we're going to upload that image that I downloaded earlier, which is the unicorn pool float. Alright, so we got that there. Now we're going to add, you can do whatever you want here. I definitely recommend spending more time on this. This is just an example video, so just, add something compelling like summer is here. Get your own giant inflatable unicorn pool float. I usually like to add some kind of emojis. So maybe the guy with the sunglasses and the sun. Actually having emojis in your text is actually a really good strategy. When people are scrolling through, they usually actually stop to actually read it more often than if it was just plain text. So almost always add that. Don't go crazy. Don't add like a ton of emojis where it doesn't make sense. But if it adds like a nice touch to your text, go ahead and do that. Enter your Shopify URL. I don't actually have a Shopify that I'm running for this product, but if you added this to your store, enter it here. So I'll just add like an example one. So Facebook will let me post the ad. I don't know, full float, whatever. That's not a real URL, but add your own. Headline. It can be something like just the name of the product, like that. And then your call to action. If this will load, change that to shop now, because that's exactly what they're doing. They don't want to learn more, they actually want to buy it. So click shop now. The newsfeed link description, that's what's going to appear right under this header. So you can say something like, 15% off this week, something like that. Maybe you can add another emoji right here. Because this is a rainbow unicorn pool float, I'll add a rainbow right there. Cool. Alright, so this is our example ad. It's obviously spend more time if you need to on this. The better you're creative, the more appealing your image, the better the ad's going to do. But this will work for now. Now let's go ahead and just confirm and make the ad. So that covers this campaign right here, and that only took like 5 minutes or less. And then the next thing we're going to do is create this engagement campaign, because we want to basically build up a ton of likes on this ad right here that we just created, right? All right, so the way to do that is once it's created, if it ever uploads, all right, click this, click the ad set, and then edit the ad, and it's going to pull this right back up. Now, if you click this button right here in the top right of the ad and go down to Facebook posts with comments, it's going to show you the actual ad itself, and it's right here. And what you're going to do is copy the very last set of numbers after post slash, and this is going to be your post ID. And we're going to use this when we actually make our engagement campaign. Oops, sorry. Whoops. Okay. So the engagement campaign, like I said, is just going to have this ad right here, and it's going to add a ton of likes, a ton of comments, a ton of shares. So when people are scrolling through their newsfeed and they see this ad, they're more likely to click on it and purchase. So let's go back to campaigns and create our engagement campaign. Click engagement. Type in pool float engagement. Continue. Okay. Go ahead and add the exact same audience we had before. So vacation, family vacations for women. Narrow by family vacations. And then, what was it, swimming pool? Okay, there we go. Now for this one, make sure that's unchecked still. Go to edit placements, make sure it's the same placements as your previous one. And then this does not need to be checked for this one, because they're just your goal here is just for them to actually like your ad. So it doesn't matter if they're on Wi-Fi or not. They don't need Wi-Fi to like or comment. So you can leave that unchecked. Change this to $10 a day. And our rule here is it's going to be $10 a day for 1 day. So our only goal here is just to build up enough likes that the ad looks legitimate. It doesn't look like spam. It looks trustworthy. So that should be enough for that. You can leave it running longer if you want, but I don't think it's necessary. So post engagement, you can leave everything here default. And make sure you turn this off manually after 1 day. So click continue. Now, if you go back to this ad here, make sure you have this copied. And go back to your ad and click enter post ID where it says select post. And you're actually going to enter the ad post ID right here. And what it's going to do is now this engagement campaign is going to be pointing to the exact same ad that our conversion campaign is running. So that's why it's called the dual campaign strategy, because it's 2 campaigns pointed at 1 ad. They work really, really well together. So we have that. And you can leave everything else default. Click confirm. And whenever it's done, you should be good to go. And that's really all it is. I hope that makes sense. I think I kind of harped on it enough that you really need this engagement campaign to generate social proof. I mean, if the ad's good enough, you don't necessarily need it, but it helps a ton. Like, it'll really boost your conversions, really decrease your add to cart price, your purchase price, things like that. So what's next? Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and disable these since I don't want them to actually run, because I entered a bogus URL there. But yeah, you're going to let this run. It's going to be a $25 total, because it's $5 a day for 3 days and $10 a day for 1 day. That's $25. After 3 days, we're going to check the results of our ad and kind of determine whether it's successful, whether we should kill it, whether we should let it run. So if after 3 days your conversion campaign has 0 purchases, less than 1 purchase, kill it. It's not working. What I would recommend at this point is either trying a different audience, tweaking the audience, or changing your creative, your ad. Either the image isn't appealing to people, maybe the copy isn't drawing out that emotional appeal that people want when they want to purchase something. So kill the ad, try again, or try a different product. Um, if it has exactly one purchase, there's potential there. I would let it run for one more day to see if Facebook can optimize it, and see if you can get one more purchase. If after another day you don't get any more purchases, I would just kill it. It's not worth it. Um, if after 3 days you have more than one purchase, so if you have two purchases or more, you're probably getting profit. It depends on the product. If you have two purchases, uh, you know, over the course of this $15 campaign, that's like $7.50 per purchase. That would be enough to generate a profit. So I would increase the budget by 10% and scale it up. So increase the budget by 10%, um, and after 3 days it's still doing well, increase it 10% more, and keep doing that every 3 days until you're no longer seeing profit, and kind of back it off a little bit. I mean, that's kind of how you want to scale. You can also duplicate the sorry, you can also duplicate the campaign, and increase the budget when you duplicate it. That's another way to scale, but I generally like to just increase the budget by 10%. Um, so yeah, I mean, I would just do this, and I would do it with like 5 or 6 different products, or maybe if you just want to do one product and try a bunch of different variations of the targets and the interests, that's another way to do it. But this is my general strategy. It's worked really well for me. Like I said, these two work really well together. It's not that expensive to run, and you can run a bunch of them at one time, and it's awesome. So hopefully that was helpful. I kind of skimmed over a lot, but hopefully I harped on the important points. Um, yeah, so good luck. And if you're having a hard time picking a winning product or a niche for your store, I highly recommend nichescraper.com. It literally has a web crawler that goes through and reveals, best-selling products from other stores. You can import them directly to your shop. You can see the traffic and revenue from the other stores. It's absolutely insane. It's also got the handpicked product section, which you saw before, which has all the Facebook interests included. The age range, the gender, example images, videos, things like that. So definitely recommend you check it out. Like I said, it's a paid tool, so it may not be for everybody, but if you have a little budget to spare, definitely go for it. So hopefully that was helpful, and I'll see you guys in the next video.